Hello, my name is Laura Ramirez, and in this presentation I'm going to talk about Canada, which is my favorite country and it's so interesting for me. During the video you can see some picture about the country. Okay, I choose Canada because I think that it's a country with a lot of opportunity of life and study, of course. I believe its culture and its language are very fantastic, and its way of life is very developed. It's a developed country, but it has some social problems that are not notorious. All I will give you some important information about this country. Okay, Canada is a federation composed of 10 provinces and 3 territories. In turn, they may be grouped into regions: Western Canada, Central Canada, Atlantic Canada, and Northern Canada. Each of the provinces and territories are responsible for education. Each of these systems are similar, while reflecting the history, culture, and geography of each region. The age at which children begin their education ranks between 5 and 7 years. 146 contribute to an adult literacy rate of 99%. In almost every part of Canada there are lakes and rivers. Canada has over 2 million lakes, cover 7% of the land's mass. The largest lake is the Northwest Territories Great Bear Lake. It's estimated that Canada is home to 1/7 of the world's fresh water. Canada is the second largest country in the world, smaller only to Russia. The population is the 28 million people. The capital of Canada is Ottawa, and the most population cities are Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Halifax. Now I will tell you the story of Canada in a nutshell. The first inhabitants of this vast land were prehistoric tribes who traveled from Asia across the Bering Strait and settled there. Apart from rare Viking visits that didn't last long, Aborigines lived friendly and developed their customs, language, and tradition to the 15th century. In 1534, Jacques Centre made France the first application, and Samuel de Champlain founded Quebec City in early 1600. Amid 16th century, Canada was declared a French province. The British entered the picture in 1670, and hostilities between the two centers eventually led to the Treaty of Paris in 1763, when France gave Canada to Britain. The two cultures within Canada contributed to fight until the growing strength of the U.S. needed a more united front. In 1867, the English law of North America gave birth to the modern and independent Canada. However, the resentment between the two provinces continued, and there were voices urging a separate Quebec French state, even 20 years ago. It's only recently that the movement for Quebec independence has lost some force. Now in the video you can see the image of the flag of Canada and you can hear its meaning. Then The white field is a red stick and each field measures exactly half the central poly. Maple leaf located in the center of the white area represent the nature and Canadian environment since the 1700s. The 11-point maple leaf does not have a meaning of its own, but some people say that the symbol is the Canadian territories. Okay, I will continue. To Canadian culture has been influenced by the tradition and custom of culture English, French, and Indigenous. Canadian culture has been influenced by immigrants from around the world. For this reason, the most people perceive Canada as a nation multicultural. The other datum that is so important is that the two official languages of Canada are English and French, but these languages depend to the territory. For example, in Quebec the language is French and in Toronto is English. The Englishmen and Frenchmen have equal condition in the federal courts and in all federal institutions. Canadian citizens have the right where there is sufficient demand to receive federal government service in English or French. An official language monitors are guaranteed their own school in all provinces and territories. There are two languages because of the long history of conflict between the English and French in Canada. A division between the two still exists in the country's language today. In Quebec, the official language at the provincial level is French, and there have been several francophone initiatives to ensure that the language remains prominent there. There are also some French-speaking communities in other portions of Canada, mostly on the East Coast, but the majority of the rest of the country speaks English. At the federal level, however, the country is officially bilingual. Canada has a station, and the more funny station for them is when summer comes. For this reason, there are an interesting culture day for celebrate the summer. This event is called Day of Canada, and it's the first July of each year. In that day, all people that is planning to move can do it because all people are in summer vacation. It means that people rest calm and can move relaxed without any pressure from part of school or work. Even that Canada is a country development, it has certain social problems like indigenous under absolute poverty. But for understand this problem, it's necessary that we should be defined in Canadian context because and everyone in their country has a different poverty concept. So in Canada poverty levels are several. So in Canada the indigenous don't have only economic problem. These people present problems of addiction, drugs, alcoholism, and other example about social problems is the working poor. It means that there are people that work but that do not produce enough resources to reach higher levels than poverty. In conclusion, it's necessary to create effective solution to this problem that Canadian indigenous are living. I hope you like it, and that's all. Bye.